Hello and welcome to True Guidance Tarot. I'm Adriana Teodoro-Dier. I'm a spiritual medium and intuitive reader, your guide to a clearer perspective. I have a message for Aquarius today. This is a message that I have asked for from my guides and from Spirit, and I've asked them to bring it through the cards in a way that's going to be very beneficial as well as deeply helpful for you as you navigate your spiritual journey this week. Let's jump straight in, Aquarius, because this is a fascinating set of cards. I am so fascinated by this whole thing. I've never seen a reading like this before. We've got the Fool for the energy that the universe is sending to you. And this energy is bright, it's new, it's the beginning of something, and it's the beginning of something big. Everything in your reading today is big, like we're talking cosmic scale big, but you're seeing it happen kind of within yourself. Now I'm going to show you the next card right away, the World. So we've got some kind of circle, some kind of cycle to completion going on, but the funny thing is we're kind of at the end of one and the beginning of another. So you're feeling like here, the World, and if you're not familiar with tarot, the Fool is the first of the major arcana, and it goes through this journey and it ends in the World. So you see we've got the beginning and we've got the end, but they're almost in the reverse order because you're feeling like you're already at the end and the universe is saying to you, no, this is actually a new beginning, a new start for you. But what this tells me is that you've culminated something big. You've culminated a big step forward in your personal growth, in your commitment to yourself, and in your spiritual development. You've gotten something, you've achieved something. And what this is saying to me is the universe is saying, don't stop. You got to keep going because yes, you may have closed this up, but actually it has opened the door to some other possibilities that you maybe aren't so aware of yet. So the other thing that's jumping out to me is the difference in perspective on this card. So this one is like right in your face, and this one's a little bit removed because she's part of a whole. He is part of a whole. And so it's saying that this new start is like right here. It's right in your face. You may be feeling a bit removed from it because you kind of want to bask in the accomplishment and in all that you've done well. You just kind of want to stay in that good feeling. But this Fool is saying, leap forward. We've got somewhere else to go. You climbed the mountain and now you've got to go back down again and climb another mountain. So let's look at the rest of the cards because again, they are super fascinating to me. We've got the Hermit on one side, the King of Swords in the middle, and then we've got the Ten of Swords. Another idea of ending and beginning. The King of Swords is that culmination of mental energy, whereas the 10 is the culmination of the number energy of the minor arcana. So we've got the same thing going on, end and beginning. So we're talking about a few more belief cycles, and I'm saying the word cycle. We're talking about a few more belief cycles that are ready to be done. The 10 of Swords here. And I think that we're talking about belief cycles that were done in the past. So this is strange because we're talking about revisiting them in a way that you're kind of like collecting them. Like, okay, I recognize at this point in my life, I believe that, and then I let it go. And then at this point in my life, I believe that, and then I stopped because I saw that wasn't really helpful. And at this point, I believe that. It's almost like you're doing a review of your life. You're looking at your belief life, the lifespan of your beliefs, and really understanding when they died and when they were born, and how this has all been a big progression for you. Because we're coming up to the moment of a very important decision. And you've got some help from the outside. You've got some help outside and inside in wisdom from your guides, and wisdom from your own seeking, questions you've been asking that you've been receiving the answers from the other side. So I feel like, or a counselor, there's some kind of helpful energy going on here that's informing your King of Swords as to what he should do next. But it's almost like you have to learn from the past in order to know exactly what to do on your way forward. And I know that probably sounds a bit trite, But so many of us are just done with the past. Like when the past is done, we just shut the door and we keep walking. And then that happens and we shut the door and we keep walking. But because these belief systems have been so deep and so strong for you, it's almost like they want you to acknowledge all the different places you've been. So this has nothing to do with going back to the emotions of the time. This has nothing to do with relieving the traumas. It's just understanding the evolution of your beliefs and how that has impacted your world and how that's impacted the kind of things you've gotten yourself into. Because we're coming up to a point where you've got to choose the right belief going forward. It's almost like you're wrapping up old energy, you're cleaning out the slate. We're just ready to jump forward, and we're coming up to that pinnacle of, okay, I need to know how to move forward, and the answer is in the past. So I will learn from the past what it is that I need in order to move forward. So we look at your advice card, which is the Lovers, and this is a funny card, kind of vivid energy. But what was jumping out to me when I drew it for you was the idea of blossoming, that things are blooming and you can make anything bloom that you want to. You can make anything come to fruition and blossom that you want to. So what does that mean in actual real terms? That means that whatever you want is going to grow for you. Whatever you want to create is going to bloom for you, is going to flower and come to the culmination of its beauty. But there is a cautionary. We've got a doe back here, or a little fawn, and it's saying be careful. You don't want to go into this completely innocent. That's why we're talking about learning from the past and understanding what got you into the situation, what vibration were you there, what belief system was creating that vibration, and what was happening all through there. Because you can run into something with your eyes closed and get in a mess, right? If you're not careful, I'm using 21st century practicality here. If you're not careful when you get yourself into this kind of embrace, there might be some consequences that you weren't prepared for, right? So this is talking about you're not an innocent. You're not going into this new journey. You're not going into this fool's journey completely unprepared. You're actually a wise fool going in with the wisdom of the past, understanding that you've got one more step to go on this journey, but you've got to pull all the pieces from the past together to understand that you are actually onto something new and onto something good. Okay, so questions about that, please reach out. You know, I always love to hear from you anyway in the comments. And you are more than invited to check out the website, trueguidancetarot.com. I just revamped it a little bit, kind of changed the offerings. So if you're looking for a little more personal guidance, please check it out. And I will see you next, look forward to seeing you next week on True Guidance Tarot.